calling you Big Daddy Sigma, bro. You must be applying that pressure, bro.
I don't know about all that, man. That's random.
That's random. All right, man. What's good, y'all? We are back for episode, what I believe will be episode 5 of Pride Talks Live with the Doc, man. We got my boy, my brother, my guy here, man. My boy Sigma, man. We gonna get to know him. You know, he's a beast of a player. Not only that, but he's a beast of a friend too. You know what I'm saying? I really consider him one of the homies that I have throughout the Tekken community. He's been coming through and helping me a lot through my Tekken journey since I just started, and you know, I've improved a lot with his help, assistance, and tutelage. So I want to let y'all get to know him, man. Episode 5. I hope y'all checked out the other ones. If you haven't, go do that right now. What you waiting for? But yeah, let's get right to it, man. So my boy Sigma, you know that's your name, but what do you like to go by? And what do you prefer to be called? And where you from? And how long you been playing Tekken?
Man, I go by Sigma.
Okay.
My real name is Vince.
Okay.
Either one's fine, Vince or Sigma, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I've been playing Tekken. I would say, well, about 20 years, but as far as like consistent wise, like where I really got into it,
right,
I would say about 10. So it was still a good time, about a good decade or so I've been playing,
what's up, man?
Where I actually tried to improve at the game.
Yeah.
But, you know, before that, it was just like, hey, you know, I like Tekken. The game's fun. Let me play, you know, things like that. But now it's like, well, I mean, even I feel like before, right now it's like gone back down to like, hey, it's still fun. Let me play.
Right.
But I feel like between Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2, I was more in that competitive state. I don't know if maybe it's just because I was younger or what it was. Maybe, I don't know if it was just a game I felt was better at the time. But either way, I was just more competitive before more than I am now. But hopefully with Tekken 8, you know, I can possibly make that return of like trying to be more competitive.
Hey, come back reinvigorated with the new game. That's what I like to hear, man. All right, so yeah, so you've been playing Tekken for a while, man. It's a legacy game, so that's dope, man. A lot of knowledge and experience builds up, and of course you have to have that foundation of fondness of the game and enjoying the game, you know. So hopefully that does maintain in Tekken 8. But I know you mentioned Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 6. So which one was your? I mean, and I know you said you've been playing for 20 years. I want to know which one was your very first Tekken, and also before that, I asked you your names, man. I've been around Twitch for a little minute, man, and I've been seeing them call you Big Daddy Sigma. What's up with that, bro? What you be doing to him in the game, man? They be calling you Big Daddy Sigma, bro. You must be applying that pressure, bro.
I don't know about all that, man. That's random.
That's random. Nah, bro. I be seeing about 2-3 people. I ain't gonna say no names, but I be seeing it, bro. You must be putting that pressure on them in the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much you beat me. I ain't gonna be calling you daddy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So
I don't know nothing.
I don't care how bad you beat me. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, man. So which Tekken was your first though? Your very first Tekken, and do you remember what character you used back then?
Yes, my very first Tekken. I still remember in the arcade because I actually got into Tekken because of my older brother. He played Tekken back since like Tekken 2. Okay. He was pretty heavy in it with Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. Right. When I first played Tekken, it was at the arcade Tekken 4. Okay. And I used Jin as my very first character. He was the main character of the game. He looked real cool. Right. You know, I played him. I was extra ass on that game, but you know, it was fun. And I ended up, you know, getting so into it. I would go to the arcades like every Friday after school, and then like eventually got the game on PS2 and things like that. So, you know, it's like, you know, I still remember all the good times with that game. And then, you know, as time went on, you know, the new ones came out, and you know, I was just more into it already because of Tekken 4. So that's where it all started. So basically, we can say that the pillar of your Tekken experience and your fondness of Tekken has been probably Tekken 4 then. Right, and it's funny because if you actually would watch my stream and you hear the music I have, like the customized jukebox, most of my tracks are from Tekken 4 because that's like, you know, overall it was actually my favorite Tekken, even like soundtrack wise. You know, I know there's some good OST on plenty of other Tekkens as well. But I feel like Tekken 4 had like majority of my favorite soundtracks.
Heck yeah, man! I enjoy your streams myself, man. And also, speaking of his streams, his links will be in the description of the video, so check that out as well. He always has, yeah, Tekken 4 brings back a good sense of nostalgia for you, man. That's dope. Yeah, I do notice the OSTs when I'm in there. So speaking of Tekken 8 being on the horizon, we mentioned that a little earlier. Do you anticipate to play Tekken in the foreseeable future with Tekken 8? I know you said that you're hoping that it reinvigorates you and that competitive nature in you. So you basically anticipate playing Tekken 8 at a pretty strong level, pretty high level.
Most definitely. You know, the way the game looks, it's a lot of changes to it, but I mean, a lot of Tekkens went through changes. From Tekken 4 to Tekken 6 was a big difference. You know, Tekken 6 to Tekken 7, it's like, it's not too much of a big jump, but it's different still. So it's like, you know, you just, if you really have love for the game, or you care about the game, or you want to just play, you know, you're gonna adapt to it no matter what the changes are.
True.
You know,
that's true.
It's like, I mean, I don't know much about like 2K and stuff, but I'm pretty sure within the times from like 16 to now, it's probably changed quite a bit. But you still adjust to the changes if you want to play the game, right? So you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you like you said, you're gonna adapt and you're gonna bend with the wind and you're gonna flow with it, man. So some stuff you'll like, some stuff you won't, but you have that foundation of love for the game, so you gotta keep that intact. Yeah, you're right about that. So speaking of Tekken 8, you know, speaking of some things that are changing, man, they have that heat mechanic all the way, man. We seen a little taste of that in the trailers. First of all, have you been enjoying the trailers, man? The trailers been dope, man. They just dropped that June one that I reacted to, man. Go check that out. That thing fire.
I'm gonna go check that out, by the way. But I did see the trailer. You know, she does look good. I knew she was going to be, you know, revealed, of course. Right. She looks, I mean, I know you didn't play Tag 2 because I know that Tekken 7 was your first, but some of her moves are, you know, familiar. When I saw some of the moves she was doing, it was, you know, they look like Tekken Tag 2s, but of course, all the new extra stuff they added to her and stuff. So she looks very solid, very good. You know, I know she's going to be, you know, I mean, I could be wrong, but I kind of predict that she's probably going to be like a high tier character, someone that's very highly used.
Right, she better be. She been gone for a while.
Yeah, I know she's going to be good. Like, she has to be. She has to be for sure.
She has to be, bro. It's mandatory. Also, so speaking of that, now going from a little bit from the trailers and stuff like that, what do you think about like the heat system? And do you? I know we don't know much about it. Some know more than others. But like, do you think that is something that's good that they implement a new mechanic in the game? Do you think that you're kind of weary about it, unsure? Like, how do you feel about it, just off your gut feeling?
I think it looks cool. It's cool to add something new to the game, and you know, just, you know, see how it goes and then adapt to it from there. You know, it's like at first people are probably gonna be like, oh, this shit's so cheap, it's broken, whatever. But I mean, hey, you know, like,
it's new.
You know, 2Ds were in Tekken 7, and you know, eventually people got adapted to it no matter what, because you just keep playing the game. You know, like, yeah, it sucks, but it's like you play no matter what, because you like the game.
Exactly.
So it's like same thing with Tekken 8. Like, yeah, people are probably gonna be like, oh, this heat system's trash or it's cheap, but you know, I'm pretty sure after all that shit talking, we're still gonna be playing the game. So it's like, you know, we'll give it a chance. I think it looks good though.
Yeah, I think we gotta give it a chance to be open-minded to it. I'm with them. I'm on that same wavelength. You know, I'm kind of weary of it too, but I'm willing to give it a chance, man. And now, you know, you've been playing Tekken for a solid, man. You said about 20 years or so. That's like 2 decades, man. I know you, but mostly casually, I think. But like, you still play at a high level. When I met you, you know, I've always considered you, I still consider you one of the top players that I played against and had the pleasure of playing with. How long have you been like a highly competitive player? I know you said since Tekken 4. Like, has that been like a consistent thing, or have you, like, you know, played and take a little break? And also, do you have any aspirations to compete at a high level, like maybe in Tekken 8?
I would say the highest level that I started competing was after Tekken 6 dropped on console. So I was like about 09, 2010, around there.
Okay.
And that's when I actually got like more better.
Right.
And you know, like I always say, like I never lab, but it's just like training was just different back then. Like practicing, it's like you didn't have all the like frame data that you can get now in practice mode. That stuff wasn't in practice mode back then. So back then it was more like, I know it's kind of like weird or anything, but it was more of a feel and a visual. Like you kind of like see the move and see the recovery of the character. Then you kind of like try different moves from there. Like even now, I don't even know max punishes for certain moves.
Right.
But you know, I'm willing to just try and learn as I'm going. You know, it's not something that I'm going to go into practice mode and be like, oh, well, I can just punish it with this. I mean, yeah, I probably could, but I'm not going to do that. Like, that's just not the way I learn, you know? So yeah. I don't tell people how to train or how to learn stuff, but that's the way I came up doing Tekken, so I'll keep it as that, you know? So.
Yeah, no, that's dope though. I think that's dope too. You know, that's very admirable too. Like, I don't think there's just one way to skin the cat as far as learning. Like, some people are more trial and error, some people more practical, some people more analytical with the numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's even I think it's even dope that you could go in there and even have the feel of the recovery and like and the way the characters react, because I think that's something that is kind of innate to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very that's something that's very dope too. And I wanted to ask you a question, man. I know that you said that you Tekken 6 play at high level and that stuff. You mentioned your brother, but don't you have I don't know if it was your brother. I think it was your cousin though, like or a family member that you had that was pretty notable at a competitive level in the Tekken scene at one time.
Yes, my cousin Grims. Okay. He was a Paul and Marduk player. He actually used to be a very high level. I actually got really good playing against him since he was like my main offline, person that I can fight against.
Right.
He competed at a high level for the longest time. Now he doesn't really play at all anymore, but he definitely got me better to the point where I was able to fight people after playing him so much that used to beat me. I would go back and play those people and they wouldn't even be a problem because he would show me so much that it would get my, it would level up my game so well where I could just go and play other people even if they were better. And I've actually played in offline tournaments. And I've played against good people. I've beaten good people, but I'm not going to go and say that I'm better than anybody.
Right.
But I am going to say that I have beaten people before, and I've knocked some people out of tournaments or put them in losers. That's the best I'm going to say right there. Like, as far as anything else goes, I'm never going to go and say I'm better than anybody. Like, it is what it is. I might talk shit and be like, oh,
Yeah, we all do that. That's what we do.
You're trash.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not that type of person to be like, I'm better than anybody. Like, I just like to play the game and enjoy it, and just play games. I like to, compete.
Right.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are competitive, so
exactly.
That's the way it is.
I don't think nothing wrong with that, man. The trash talk, you know what I'm saying, at a competitive level. That's at the heart of competition, man. You gonna talk a little trash, but you don't mean any ill will, malicious intent, or have any malicious intent, man. And like you said, you don't think you're better than anybody. Keep that humility about yourself, stay humble, but at the same time, you know that you know what you're capable of too. And I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And also, I wanted to ask you too. I know you said that he doesn't play anymore, so you probably don't really play with him as much. But if I'm not mistaken, man, I know you kind of hinted that he helped you get better and kind of see some other top tier player, or higher tier players that you you didn't struggle with as much because of your play and practice with your cousin Grims. I wanted to ask you, man, if I'm not mistaken, weren't you on the top of the leaderboards of one of the Tekkens, like Tekken Tag 2 or something like that?
It was Tekken 5 was one of the ones. The online on that game was it was a little, because it was the first Tekken online, so it was kind of crap. But yeah, I beat a lot of good people going up there, and I mean, at first I thought I was good. When I first started playing Tekken, I thought I was good, and then when you jumped online and you experienced so much different play styles and people, and then actual characters, I was just like, what the hell? Like, I thought I was good, but. I knew I wasn't good. So
there's some monsters out there.
There's some monsters, yeah, exactly. And like, even a lot of the guys that are still competing today, I've played them back since like Tekken 5, Tekken 6. Like I played Anakin, I played Speed Kicks. Like I've played those guys. You probably don't know, but like in Tekken Tag, when it first came out, there was this team thing where like it was called like Tekken World Federation, and it was like you can make like a clan like within the game, and you can draft people to be on your team.
Oh, that's dope.
I actually used to be on the same team with Kotocore, but this was before she became, the pro player she is.
That she is now.
Kudos to her. She kept up with the game.
Yeah.
She, consistently got better, and that's good. Like that's the way it should be.
That's dope. Man.
But I used to play her like on a regular basis. So I know where she came from as far as from beginning to learning and it's becoming, what she is. So I've been playing against a lot of people for a long time. So even though my name might not be out there so much, it's because I never really tried to really put my name out there. I just kind of like met those people along the way, played them, and then moved on from
there. That's dope though, man.
Where I was like,
that's dope to see her growth, and also see your growth and know your capabilities too. You know what I'm saying? You being your own person is like, Dang, y'all used to train together or whatever. And that, hey, man, we got to get that. We got to get a Harada to implement that back into the game. And the teams, we got the Lions Den team. Man, that'd be fire, man.
Yeah, that team thing was pretty cool, but they got rid of it like after so long. It was cool though.
Man, that'd be dope, man. But I appreciate that elaboration on that, man. And kind of staying in the same lane, man. Is there like a player, whether it's pro, casual, recreational, whatever, that you kind of look up to as inspiration, or who you contribute a lot of your growth to, or your infatuation with the game? That start off with like your cousin, your brother, or maybe even somebody else that's in the scene now that we might recognize, or even just somebody that you just randomly met, like maybe a neighbor. Is there anybody like that for you?
Well, definitely goes back to my cousin and my brother, first of all, because I started from my brother, and then I grew with the game with my cousin. But as far as like pro players, I don't really watch too much tournaments or anything like that. But I have played against, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of him, Sephi Black. I played against him. Yeah. We played offline before in Tekken 6 back in the day, and that's when Miguel first came out in the game. Yeah. He was already really good with him. And then. As I was learning him, he wasn't my main at the time yet. I still had my original main. Okay. And, it's like being able to play against him, it was so cool. And then I even had him online as a friend, and, we were able to play, even though the connection wasn't the best, of course.
Yeah, because he's in Germany, Europe. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it was still cool to be able to have played him so long ago, and then now you see him, he's over there competing in, like, TWT and the high level and stuff like that. So like I said, I've met these people along the way, and they've expanded their game, and so have I, but to an extent to where like I still enjoy the game, but I haven't taken it outside to like try to go to tournaments and stuff like that. I just kind of just enjoy the game as it comes along.
Yeah, I mean, it is what you make it with experience that you want from it. And everybody has different obligations and stuff too. So. But I know like you mentioned, you dabbled in the roster and you play many characters. But when it comes to your character selection process, like a lot of people know why I picked Julia, because it was a personal reason. It had something to do with my degree, PhD in environmental engineering and sustainable energy engineering. Do you have a reason? What stood out to you about Miguel? I know you said that you had a main before. You kind of leaned towards Miguel. What made you want to pick him? Could you elaborate on that?
Well, first of all, like your reason is like good, because it's actually a real reason, but I just want to play Miguel because he was a Spanish like me. So.
Bro, what you mean? That's a great reason. You relate to the character, man. That's dope, man. Hey, I almost picked Master Raven or Leroy because of the same reason, man. It's nice to have people that you can relate to from whether it's the ethnic level, cultural level, whatever level it is, man. It's just, yeah, that's dope. Yeah. No, I think that's fine.
When I saw the character for the first time, when they were releasing the trailers in Tekken 6, and they even had like the gameplay like from Korea and everything before it even dropped in the US, like. Just seeing Miguel gameplay was just like, it caught my attention big time. I was just like, this character looks fucking clean, like I really want to like learn the character when he drops and everything. And after that, it's just he became my main. But my original main was Beck. And
see, I'm familiar with him.
If he does return, in Tekken 8, which I'm hoping, it could possibly be a swap back to him. And put Miguel second. But as of right now, definitely Miguel's the main character.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. I think that's dope, man. Miguelito in the building, man. Yeah, that's fire. So I know you mentioned Miguel, who's currently your main. You mentioned Jin. You dabbled in Beck. Is there anybody else, or that's pretty much it?
Well, in Tekken 5 because I learned Beck in Tekken 5. And before playing Beck, I was actually for quite a while. Actually, I was actually a Law main.
Hey.
So, but then again, Law was like so popular, and he still is. It's just like, who didn't play Law, pretty much. It was kind of one of those characters. But I really enjoyed Law a lot. He's looking really good from the trailer in Tekken 8. But yeah, he's not, I don't see myself ever coming close to being a Law main again. For sure.
All right, man. Well, I have some more questions to ask you, man. But first, we're gonna get into this lobby. Right after we take this little brief commercial break, we gonna get some games in, man. Hopefully, we might have to get a first to 3 in because I have to go commentate for another tournament. But yeah, let's get a first to 3, man. And right after this commercial break. All right, man. So I gave the invitation, man. You have Miguel right here, and then right beside my boy Sigma, and you have Julia right here for me. So we about to get some games in, man. Gonna get a quick first to 3, man, before I have to go commentate. Yeah, man, let's go, man. Me and my guy Sigma. I know we usually do a first to 5, but we're gonna do a first to 3 today. like I said, I have to go commentate a tournament. Last second, I was asked to do that, so we're gonna do a quick 1st to 3 with my guy. You lost your camera,
right,
bro.
Oh, you can't see me?
Nah.
Hold on.
Are you back? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
All right.
So to be honest with you, man, you know, I know we left off on the topic of characters, which we will get back to, but I just thought about something. I don't think I've ever played your Miguel like that, man. Like, you have such a good Bob and such a good Fakuram and other characters and Lily and all that, man. I feel like I probably played your Miguel like once. So listen, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I play him on a, you know, like every now and then, but I don't know, like for some reason, like it's just I've been, you know, having a lot of fun playing Bob. Man, he's such a troll character, but he's so fun though.
Man, Bob seems like such a fun character, man. Staying on topic of characters, what do you think makes your character good? You know, what do you find good about Miguel, or what, or at least what made him attractive to you? You know, so what attracted you to him to play?
Probably his mix-up game.
Okay.
He has a good mix-up game, but you know, as you've come to learn more into the game, like, you know, the frames and all that, you know,
right.
You have to be careful with the mix-ups. In other words, I'm not gonna say he's terrible because he's not. He's just he's real. He there's a lot of risk to what he does. So,
right.
But other than that, though, I mean, yeah, that's what I really like about my character.
Right, okay. And then let me think. So do you, what in particular about him? You know, I know you said the cultural similarities, but anything about like him that was like, oh, maybe he looks this way, or like maybe like you said you see Sephi Black play. Is there anything that made you like, oh yeah, I gotta play Miguel, man? Like his character, personality, or what? Or was it just a culmination of everything, or a combination of everything?
Just I would say just a combination of everything.
That's fire.
Ooh. He looked like such a cool character.
Heck yeah, he looks dope, man. I think Miguel, I like it. I like his attitude as well, man. You know, he don't play no games. He come and whip your behind, and he gonna walk off on you. I love that, for real. And do you consider your character, now this is gonna be this is a controversial question, but I'm asking about you. Do you personally consider your character to be strong or weak relative to the rest of the roster? Like, where do you think they sit? Like, are they high tier, lower tier, mid tier? For you personally?
I would say he's like in the middle.
Okay.
There's plenty of characters I feel are much better than him.
Okay.
Overall wise.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, you know, a lot of people have their opinions on stuff, and you know, a lot of people think like, nah, you know, Miguel's like really good. I'm like, I'm not gonna say he's not good.
Right.
But there's definitely better than him. That's for sure.
Right. Right. I feel that. So now, speaking of where he sat with the rest of the roster, could you give me some of the things? We're gonna kind of try to break them down, man, because it's gonna help me too. Like, what do you think is his strong point? I know you mentioned mix-ups. Is there anything else? Like, what else does he excel at? Relative to other characters too, you know, or just on his own.
Let's see. I would say like.
Oh, Lord, I'm dead. Oh, Lord.
Probably. His pokes are probably the best thing from him. You know, he has a lot of good mids. He has a pretty good amount of lows too.
Okay.
But he doesn't have anything scary. Is when I try to tell people. What I mean by that is like, I feel like even though he has so many lows, he doesn't have a low that makes you say like, man, I need to duck that. You know,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, nothing really.
Besides hatchet kick, but it's like you have to be in savage stance in order to get into that kick anyway. So it's like, you know, I mean, it's good. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's not. But, you know, you have to be into the stance to do it. It's not like Brian where you can just do a sway back and then you can kick, you know?
I see what you're saying. Okay. So, yeah, and some of those things come with knowing the character, playing the character. Like, you know, like, I didn't, like some of the stuff until recently, I didn't know that he had to be in a stance to get off that kick. You know what I'm saying? That you just explained. So it's like me not playing the character and just fighting him. I might not notice certain things, or I might not see things as a weakness, but it might indeed be. You know, might very well be a weakness or something that a player would want to improve upon. Okay, now so now you talked about some of his strengths. Could you give me some of his? Let's talk about his weaknesses. Like what are some of the weaknesses that you think that maybe if you could improve upon or change, what would it be about Miguel?
At least, like I said, he has a lot of good mids, but at least something that is worth finishing. Like all his strings, you don't get nothing out of his strings pretty much. Like, you know, like if I finish Bob's strings, like, and you get counter hit, like I get good damage or I get like wall splash like that, like I'm not gonna get anything with Miguel besides if I finish like a common string. But I think if I finish, I want to say it's like minus 13. So if you have like a 13 frame punisher, you can punish that easily and stuff. So like, you know, I think I'd rather have him have like a better low, something that's good but not as unsafe. I feel like his best low is like 8 damage, I think. Right? It's very weak low. I think this right.
Oh, okay.
His best low.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably his best, in my opinion, because it's like it's fast and you don't see it. But
right.
I don't know. Like I said,
too much damage. I feel that.
Everybody has their own opinions to it. You know, like he has a lot of good lows. Like that's a good low, but if you block that, that's launch.
Right. Exactly.
Like, you know, it's a risk I'm taking. You know.
Right. I got you. So risk and reward
and I don't
great.
get anything off of it unless it's counter hit. It's not like snake. It's not like a regular snake edge. You know, I understand if it was a snake edge, and you know, then you know, it's like okay, well, you know, of course it's gonna be launch punishable because you know it's combo.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. So now you know I main Julian. I get a lot of heat from it, man. You know that for being in my stream and stuff like that, rocking with me. I want to ask you, man, how do you personally feel about Julia as a character, and how does she compare and contrast from your character?
You know, I did that Julia, that little rank run a while back. Right. When I had used it. She's actually good. I think she, after the nerf especially, you know, because I think the only thing that really made her, like, where people thought she was cheap is that after, what is it, that bow and arrow, right? The full crouch move?
Yeah, bow and arrow,
you get down 1+2, I think
Yeah, you get down guaranteed. 1+2. Not anymore,
right, you get that, not anymore. So I think after that got taken away, I think people started seeing that she's, like, not as good.
Right.
But I always thought that she was a pretty fair character overall.
Okay.
You know, I think from my experience of playing her recently, you know, once you get to that level, like, you know, that rank that you're at and stuff, it's hard. Like, you really have to work.
I appreciate that.
I noticed that. Nah, for real. Like, I'm not even just saying that. Like, I was over there hard stuck at like Tekken King. I finally got Tekken God. I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah, execution, you know, and maybe like you said, maybe it's because I'm a new player, but execution is very tricky for me, man. And you know, I drop a lot of things and it frustrates me, but you know, it's all good though, man. But I do want to ask you, you know, that you gave your honest opinion. I appreciate it, bro. Despite the fact that we fight one another quite a bit, man. If you're fighting a Julia player, whether it's myself or whoever, what are you trying to take away from her? What are you most weary of?
Just like probably her wall carry, man. It's just
wall carry, right?
Her wall carry is so good. Like she literally could take you to a wall on the infinite stage. That's just
facts. They gonna find the wall today.
They gonna find a wall somewhere with this character now. But she has really good wall carry. But I mean, you know, aside from that, like her pokes are pretty honest. Like,
right.
You know, it's like people complain about 4-4-1, you know, because it leads into so many mix-ups. But it's like, in reality, it's like you kind of still have to mix it up yourself, because if you try to go for like 4-4-1 and then a grab, and that person just randomly hop kicks, well, that's the chance you're taking, and that you're going to get punished for.
That makes sense.
But then if like you throw 4-4-1 and then 4, the person tries to press, they're going to get counter hit. But if they know, if you press and they guess correctly, and they duck, well, then that's a free launcher, and then you're punished. So it's like, it's still technically a 50-50, even though people want to say 4-4-1's cheap. Because you still have to mix it up somewhere. And it's all a guessing game at the end of the day. It's, am I going to guess the right guess? Or are you going to guess the right guess? So it's not guaranteed anything.
Exactly. Could you come a little forward? You're out of focus in the camera. Can you come, if you can?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I try to tell people that all the time. Sometimes they just act like it's a given, man. So I really appreciate that, especially coming from a player that I respect. And like you said, you actually play Julia, try to, unlike most people who have the opinion on her. But I do kind of want to play devil's advocate right now. If there was one thing that you could take from Julia and put it on your character, what would that be? Like one tool.
Carry for sure, her wall carry, but also I think my favorite move from Julia, I don't know how the command, but it's that one that you do where she does like the low kick and the punch at the same time.
Oh, war drums?
That one right there. I like that move right there. That's probably one of my favorite moves from her, to be honest.
Heck yeah, I love that move too, man. I think I underutilize it as well. Okay, and then so, okay, now I gotta ask you, I know we talked about characters quite a bit, man. What are some of your your strengths that you think you bring to Miguel, as opposed to what Miguel brings to you. What the heck was that interaction? What do you think that you bring to Miguel? Like, I know you said you don't really lab. Like, do you think that? How do you think that benefits you, or like what kind of? How do you think you bring out the best of Miguel from your play style? I guess is what I'm asking.
I would say just like the way I play, like spacing, movement.
Facts.
Try to keep it basic with like pokes and stuff.
Facts.
But people that have played me like in real sets, in all reality, I'm not gonna lie. Like I mash, and there's times where I will take high risk.
Right.
But, I'm okay with that. Like that's just the way I've always played the game. Like people tell me like, oh, you pressed on like minus whatever. I'm like, bro, I can't even tell you what minus was. Like, I don't know. Like,
right, exactly. But like I said, I think that's kind of a strength because, I do think that there's a time and place for everything, man. There's a time and place to take risks, a time and place to be patient. If you just worry about the numbers all the time, then you might not be able to capitalize on something you normally would have if you were kind of a little bit negligent of the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of dope, man. And I do want to ask you again too, if you could have any move from any character in the game, give me 2 moves from any character in the game you could put on Miguel. What would they be?
From like another character?
Any character. Yoshi's Flash, Akuma's Hadouken, anything, man. Leroy's Parry.
No, I would probably have like. That's too hard.
That's too hard, right?
Like, yeah. I couldn't tell you so much stuff. I guess one move for sure that I would probably say that would be cool. Probably like something like Brian's, like his back one, where he does like the fist that like punches overhead.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like something like that would be pretty cool. I think that's a good move, and it's even though the animation is kind of corny, I mean it's still the move that's good.
Yeah, man, that move. Okay, I see me. I would want to, if I could take one move and put on Julia, man, it would definitely be a parry, man. It'll be Leroy's parry for sure, or even any parry. I don't care. Just give me a nice parry, man. That's all I would want, man. And but yeah, I know we had to do a quick little set, man. We're gonna get some more games in later after this. But yeah, I have to go commentate. So I have some more questions for you though before we go. But that's it for the gaming portion, man. So right after this quick break, we're gonna come right back. So stay tuned.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, so I do want to ask you another question, man. Sigma, my boy. What do you we're the Lions Den, man. You know what I'm saying? We're a bunch of kings and queens, man. Part of being a king and queen is being productive and being proactive. So what do you see as some of your weaknesses in the game, and what do you do to proactively address that? Like, what do you do to improve it? What do you do to kind of just improve? Yeah, basically just make them better. Like, what do you do to kind of help whatever your weaknesses are that you feel that you have as a person?
Well, I honestly feel like my main weakness of this game, and I never improve on it because it's just like I'll think about it the next game or so on, and I'll improve at that moment.
Right.
But then, like the next day or whatever comes along, and it just goes out the window because
right.
It's my patience. Like, I get greedy, and I'm over here like. Just playing, and then I'm over here like, why am I getting hit by this? Why is this hitting me? I know that's coming. Like, why am I even like falling for it? Right.
Right.
So, I think that's what my biggest weakness is probably my patience. Like,
okay.
There's times where I could be real patient, and then there's times where I just get like greedy, or I just play like with no F's given.
Right.
So.
Now I'm with you on that, man. I think that's what, if you see, like, I only have one S+ stat, and that S+ is aggressiveness. So what does that mean? My patience is, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely, I feel you on that, man. Yeah, I definitely relate to that, man. I'm trying to implement more patience when I play the game, man. Utilize spacing, utilize my keep out tools, but it's hard, man. I'm on the game. I want to do a cool combo. I want to launch you to the moon, man. I'm not trying to, pity pat with you all day, man, but at the same time, having a good balance, I think is good, man. But leaning away from Tekken, man, I know that you recently obtained your PT certification, man. Let's clap on that, man. I'm happy for that, man. Congratulations. What are your hobbies outside of Tekken, man? Do you have any that you want to talk about or discuss?
My main hobby that I like to do, and I do try to do at least 5 times a week, is exercise. Working out. Going to the gym. I'm not there to be the most strongest and best heaviest lifter of all time. I'm just trying to maintain my health as I'm getting older.
Right.
Be able to stay healthy. Not only for me, but for my family's sake.
Right.
As my daughters are growing up, things like that. So you know, and then just basketball. I recently started getting back into basketball more as far as playing. You know, I've always been a fan of watching it, but
you ain't dunking on nobody though. You ain't dunking on
recently,
nobody.
Not anymore. Hell no. Not anymore.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. I know you mentioned your family, and your daughter. So you have a wife and kids. That's dope, man. And you're still able to be a beast at Tekken. So I think that's very admirable, man. Shout out to the fathers and the mothers of the FGC, man. Especially those that play Tekken. Yeah, man. So you're still a beast. You're still maintaining that balance. I know it takes a lot of balance. It takes a lot of dedication, but I think that's what makes you good, though. You know what I'm saying? I think having that balance is what keeps you centered. You know what I'm saying? And that's good, man. Like I said, you're one of the best players that I've played against, man. I love playing against you when I can, and even when I'm losing, cause I do lose most of the time, but I feel like I'm learning something. You know what I'm saying? And I do like it's refreshing. Definitely. Yeah, it's refreshing because, like you said, you play risky, and I feel like I play risky, and it's like it's dope to see that I can see somebody who plays risky, similar to me, you know, but at a higher caliber, but you're still successful with that risk. You know what I'm saying? You're still successful not labbing. You're still successful playing your own way, implementing your own style. So that's fine. Playing multiple characters to playing the same, you know what I'm saying? This bringing the same skill set or similar skill set to multiple players and still being successful, man, dominant. So that's fire, bro. I always admire that about you, man. So I always want to salute you for that.
You know, just to say, like, you definitely like are improving, man. And then like everybody says it, bro. Like I don't even gotta be the one to say it. Like you see in your chat all the time, everybody always telling you like you're definitely improving. And for someone who hasn't been playing the game too long, like you know, props to you, man. Like you're getting better, and then you just keep on playing. The thing about that's good is that you just keep on playing people. Like there's people, they get to a certain level and then they have that mentality of like, okay, yeah, I'm good, and they don't like to lose. Right. And it's like everybody has to lose. Everybody loses at everything, right?
Right, exactly.
It happens.
Right.
That's the only way to come back from it and get better. Like you can't just win forever. And people, when they lose, they're like, okay, I don't want to play no more, or I'm not going to play this guy. But it's like, why aren't you going to play this guy anymore? Or what is it, right? It's because people don't like to lose, and it's okay to lose. It's just okay, nobody wants to lose, but it's okay to.
Right. Champions aren't champions because they never lose. In fact, sometimes people that are the most successful lose the most. Is that they embrace the losses, they learn from the losses, they shake it off, don't let it stop them. You know, they're not embarrassed by losses. Of course, you're embarrassed. You expect to win, you want to win, you try hard at something, so you expect greatness, but they're not embarrassed to the point where they want to hide under a rock and never try again. You know, so you brush it off, learn from it. You know, and you keep it pushing, man. So now we're gonna open up the section. We're gonna field some questions. We're gonna open up this part of the interview to our favorite part, man. We get to field some questions from the chat. So I'm gonna check it out. Headed by Cookie. Cookie told me that Sage has asked, do you take Tekken meta into consideration when you choose who to play? For example, would you play a character that was widely considered bad, but you still like them? Or would you just, so basically he's asking, would you just go to the character that's most dominant just because they're good and you have an easier time playing? Or do you go to somebody that you like regardless of where they stand on the tier list? That's a great question, by the way.
No, I've definitely stayed with my characters since the beginning. When Miguel came out in Tekken 6, despite all the changes, whether he's gotten better or gotten worse or stayed the way he is as far as solid, like I've always stayed with that character as my main character. I'm not gonna go and play fucking Fang or fucking Leroy or whatever. Yeah, I played Fok, but that's only because I was also a big Bruce player, and the whole kickboxing thing. Josie, I tried Josie. Yeah, she's cool, but then I like Fok a little more than Josie. But I never played the character because they're the top tier or whatever like that. Because if that was the case, I would have been on like Steve or the Mishimas or something. But I mean, I play those characters, but not at that level because I choose not to play them at that level. I don't want to get that good with them. I just play them just to know enough how to play with them and against them, and that's it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to learn, I don't need to be the best person to throw electrics or anything like that. I just need to know how to do it and how to defend it, and then that's it.
That's a fact, man. Yeah, man. I think that's dope, man. That's what that drives you to get good to get better, to improve with the character. You have to have that passion that that you like him and stuff like that. I think that's the foundation of it. I don't really understand people picking a character for any other reason besides that's who they like the most. I don't understand it, but some things I'm not supposed to understand. So yeah, man. We have another question coming from Sweet. Would you like to see Miguel's sister come back as a resurrected cyborg character? She has a sister? Hold on, how she look? Hold on. I'm single, you know what I'm talking about? No, I'm playing.
No, I wouldn't. Just that I think that's what makes the character. if you go back to Tekken 6 and you see, the character and the reason why he's all so pissed off, he has a grudge for Jin because Jin was the person, running the whole thing, the military and stuff, and because of the military, his sister ended up dying.
Wow.
And so when you play story mode, or you play like I think it's like arcade battle or story mode, one of those with Miguel in Tekken 6.
Right.
He has like his own intro, because they have like the introductions where they kind of like pair together, and he has like an intro that he only pairs up with Jin, and it's kind of like a threat intro where he kind of tells him like, this hate I have is for you, and this and that. So like, he doesn't say that to anybody else, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that makes his character. So definitely to answer that question, just let the story play on as it is.
Okay, so that death really shaped and impacted his character and put him on the mission that he's on now, and basically telling Jin, hey, we might be partners right now, but after this, your ass is grass. That's crazy. I didn't know that, man. So it sounds like Jin inadvertently killed her, but still, you killed my family, whether you did it intentionally or not. I got to check you, bro. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I did not know that, man. Let's see if we have any more questions. I think we have one more question, man. This question is okay. We have one more question. This question is coming from a Who's Your Daddy 95. Would you let any of your kids get into the FGC Tekken community? Do you think that'd be dope for them? Would you feel like a proud father?
It's funny because both my daughters like watching me play.
Yeah, and, that's what's up.
We can be grabbing like my PS5 controllers or my headset, and they'd be like putting it on stuff. But they're still little themselves. I mean, they won't be into all that anytime soon. But I mean, if they grew up and I'm pretty sure games are still going to be around and being developed from that time. If that's something they get into and they enjoy it, then sure, why not? I mean, my nephews, they both started growing up with games, and they're heavily on it as well. And so if that's something they like to do, I'm not going to stop them from
Facts.
What they want to do. I'm going to let them enjoy it and definitely play and shit. I mean, I'll be happy with it. I'll be like, cool, like
that's what's up, man. You be a coach, you be coaching them up, man. It might be the next Evo winners. You never know. TWT champs.
Don't laugh.
They ain't laughing, no. They ain't laughing. That's crazy, man. But that's it for the interview, man. It's podcast episode 5, most likely, man. Pride Talks with the Doc, man. Featured my guy Sigma, man. My brother, mi hermano. You know what I'm talking about? So I appreciate having you, man. It was dope. Sorry we couldn't get a first to 5 in. But we got a quick first to 3.
We can always play anytime.
Please, I would love that. I would love that, man. Yes, sir. So I appreciate y'all, man. I'll catch you on the flip side. We out. Peace.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
Enjoy what you just saw? Click on this playlist for more of my online matches and battles against the hardest CPU. Follow my other socials as well. Don't forget to like the video.